Okay, for section 10.5, we're going to have three situations. We're going to have the vertex of an angle on the circle, in the circle, and outside the circle. So we already talked about in the previous video that when the vertex was on the circle, we had an inscribed angle, right, like this. So this first one, even though this other side is outside the circle, the vertex is still on the circle. When the vertex is on the circle, we still use the same formula. The angle is equal to half the arc. So in this problem, angle B would be equal to half of the measure of arc AB. Okay. Our next situation is when the vertex is inside the circle. So what we're looking at here is going to be when we have a situation where we have an angle here and we need to find this angle measurement. This vertex is somewhere inside the circle. When that happens, our angle is equal to half the sum of the intercepted arcs. Okay, so what arcs are we talking about? Okay, we are talking about, oops, I was supposed to write an X here. We are talking about the two arcs that get intercepted. So this angle intercepts this arc from B to C, so that's going to be our first arc. And then our second angle, remember that vertical angles are the same measurement. So we're going to look at the vertical angle over here, and it's going to intercept this arc, AD. We're not saying those arcs are the same. Oops, AD. We're not saying that those arcs are the same. I'm saying that angle and that angle are the same because they're vertical. Okay, and then our third situation is when the vertex is outside the circle. The angle is going to be equal to half the difference of the intercepted arcs. Okay, so what does that look like? If our vertex is outside the circle, it could look something like this. So this is our angle, and we have these points. In this situation, our angle intercepts two arcs. There's this arc here and this arc here. Now, if I want positive numbers, I'm going to have to do the big arc minus the small arc because I'm not going to have negative angles. So it would be x is equal to half of HG minus EF. Okay, we're going to look at some examples from your book. So again, if you have your textbook, the first examples we're looking at are on page 544. Okay, these three are examples of the vertex on the circle. Every one of these has the vertex on the circle. So that formula was the angle is equal to half of the intercepted arc. So here, angle 1 is going to equal half of this arc that it intercepts. So half of 210 degrees. Measure of angle 1 would be 105 degrees. Okay, the next one, it says we want to find arc RST. RST is the intercepted arc for this 98-degree angle. We're going to say the angle is half the arc. So this arc, RST. Just like in our previous questions, if we want that fraction to cancel out, we're going to multiply both sides by 2. So I get 196 is equal to the measure of RST. Number 3, we have the angle is 80 degrees. We want arc XY. So XY is the intercepted arc for our angle. Angle equals half, oops, I should have wrote M. So again, if we want our fraction to cancel out, we multiply both sides by 2, and we have 160 is equal to the measure of arc XY. Okay. Our next examples, we have our vertex inside the circle for these two. So we're looking at this angle, X, and its vertical angle, and we're looking at the arcs they intercept. The formula for this one was the angle is equal to half the sum. Sum means we add. So X is equal to half of 97 plus 55. So I'm going to have X is equal to half of, let's see, when I add this together, 152. And then I have to take half of that, so I get 76 degrees. For this one, we have Y right here, so we don't know an arc. This is the other arc that would match to these angles. The tricky part with this one is that they're giving us this 102 degrees. 102 doesn't help with these arcs, but I know that two angles that are next to each other that make a straight line are supplementary. So I'm going to go ahead and be able to figure out that this angle right here is 78 degrees. Because it's supplementary, it made a linear pair here. So I'm going to say my angle is equal to half the sum, so 78 is equal to half of Y plus 95. Just like we did in the other problems, we're going to get our 1/2 to cancel out by multiplying by 2. And then I have 78 times 2 on this side. On this side, I'm going to be left with Y plus 95. Take the 95 away on both sides, and I'm left with 61 for Y. Okay, this last example, the vertex is outside the circle, so our formula for that was the angle is half of the difference, and we want to do the big one minus the little one. So if I focus on these arcs, big arc is A, little arc is 44. So I'm going to say 30 is equal to 1/2 of A minus 44. I'm going to get the 1/2 to cancel out first by multiplying by 2. So 60 is equal to A minus 44. And then to finish solving, I need to add 44 to each side. So A is going to be 104. Okay, that's where we're going to stop with our notes for today. So make sure you have all of those copied and all of these examples copied. You're going to take pictures of your work and submit it as the assignment for today.